Alright, so we're going to start with some 5th grade ELA. Make sure that you're putting your name on it again because you're supposed to tear this out and send it when you pick up packets. I believe there's also going to be a link so you can print it if you don't have your book. Alright, so we're going to look at the gift of the Trojan horse. We have a photograph here. Hi, baby.
What you doing?
I'm doing work. We got a photograph here, and this is, if you have any knowledge, which you're supposed to have some kind of little bit of background knowledge, that is a photograph of the Trojan horse. It looks like a replica, probably. So the gift of the Trojan horse, I'm gonna say it's probably.
Grandma, I just saw the sleepy bear.
Oh, okay. Maybe informational. And then I'm going to say, like, history would be my hashtag of what I think it's going to be about. But I'm not sure about the informational until I read, okay? A gigantic wooden horse stood outside the gates of the ancient city of Troy. The best of Odysseus's mighty warriors were hidden inside the horse and remained silent among the shouts coming from the walled fortress. They were hopeful their plan to trick the Trojans would work.
Hey, Grandma.
The worthy warriors...
Grandma.
Hi, baby.
What you doing?
I'm working.
Again?
Yeah, whispered to one another. We must be patient for a few more hours. When the people of Troy fall for our trap, we will attack. Attack they would. Okay, so this was about before the attack. Okay. After battling the Trojans for 10 years, the Greeks wanted to punish them. Many Greek soldiers had perished trying to defeat the people of Troy. Achilles, one of the greatest Greeks of all, had fallen dead when an arrow pierced his heel. For many days, the Greek soldiers had worked to build a massive wooden structure that would later become known as the Trojan horse. The Greeks considered the horse their best weapon. So I'm just going to put horse here.
Grandma, have another candy?
Sure. Odysseus was the leader of the Greek army. He asked Ares, the Greek god of war, to reveal a plan. Ares advised Odysseus of the best way to enter the city and trick the Trojans. Because the people of Troy thought of horses as sacred, Odysseus planned to offer them the mighty wooden horse as a gift. The Trojans would view this gift as a symbol of surrender. Hashtag gift. Okay. The horse was completed and rolled to the city gates of Troy. The Greeks continued their ploy by sailing to the nearby island in hopes the Trojans would believe they were no longer a threat. The Greeks patiently waited for the Trojans to roll the colossal object inside the walls of the city. So, let's see. Going inside. Okay. Read here. Alright. Meanwhile, the people of Troy were suspicious. What if this is a trick? They asked the high priest. He responded, do not trust the Greeks. I know this gift is a trick. As a test, the high priest hurled a spear toward the wooden structure. It struck the side of the horse. Since nothing happened, the people were convinced it was safe to accept the gift. The Trojans celebrated victory as they rolled the horse into the city. The citizens were unaware of the danger the horse contained. The Greek soldiers uttered no sounds as they waited inside the horse for the next step of their plan. They smelled victory. Alright, so they were waiting. Waiting. Later that night, the Greeks returned from the island to the city of Troy. As the Trojans slept, a spy inside the city released the Greek warriors from the horse. Gathering their weapons, they raced to open the heavy gates for their fellow Greeks. The Greek army began the destruction of the city and Troy was defeated. The punishment of Troy and its people was complete because the plan of the Trojan horse was successful. So Troy defeated. Okay. All right. So, here we go. We're going to go on to, we're supposed to do through 126 for the activity 1. Okay. All right, so here, the gift of the Trojan Horse in Mr. G's class blog, a class of 5th grade students at Mason School in Rochester, Minnesota. I'm not sure what we're supposed to do with this. Let me see. I think we're reading it, and it's also about the Trojan War, but it is a blog, so it could be informational. It could be... Oh, it's a different kind of Trojan horse. Okay. All right. Well, let's read it. So this is like basically looking like it would be on a website or on a school, like Google Classroom kind of thing. Okay. All right. Oh no, January 20th. No comments. Technology. Good morning. Eric has given me permission to share a story of something that happened to him last weekend. When he checked his email, Eric noticed the subject line of a new message in his inbox. The email was from one of his favorite stores, Game and Jam. The message informed Eric that he had been chosen as the lucky winner of a $100 gift card. Okay, so we're going to do winner with a hashtag. Although his parents had warned him about opening strange email attachments, Eric clicked on it anyway. He wanted to print the gift card. Eric was confident the email was legitimate since it came from a well-known store. Besides, he was excited about spending every cent of the $100 on himself. Okay, so I'm just going to do hashtag warning or warned. We can kind of see where this one's going, right? The foreshadowing. Now, this is where Eric's troubles began. As soon as he opened the email attachment, Eric realized there was a problem with his computer. The mouse pointer danced around the screen like a magic jumping bean. His computer suddenly froze. Eric pressed every button on the keyboard without a response. He tried to shut down the computer again, but again, nothing happened. Eventually, Eric's computer screen looked like a solid sea of blue. He finally understood why it was so important to be careful when opening email attachments. At that point, Eric realized the only free thing he had received from the Game and Jam email was a nasty computer virus. So I'll do hashtag virus on this one. Okay. I don't know if, let's see, I think I need to move it over just a little bit there. So you can see. Remember, you can pause if you need to so you can catch up. Eric asked his older brother, a computer genius, for help. John explained that viruses can be hidden in computer links. They can be programmed to attack when email attachments are opened or when free music or games are downloaded. When that occurs, the viruses spread like wildfire. Many viruses damage or rearrange files. Others steal personal information or destroy entire computer systems. Fortunately for Eric, his brother knew how to rid the computer of the frustrating virus. Okay, so tech genius brother got lucky there. All right. Eric's story is a great reminder of the following tips. Avoid questionable websites and links. Maintain antivirus software. Ignore email messages from unknown senders. Do not open pop-ups. Of course, this is for a standard computer, like a laptop or a desktop, like Chromebooks and things like that. Anything that runs on like Android or iOS, you don't really have that worry because it's already built in. Number 6, Eric learned a valuable lesson. One push of a button can crash your computer. Thanks to Eric and John for allowing me to post their story. I know the information you have learned from Eric and John's experience will be helpful as you use your computers. So we'll just do helpful. Okay, well, we're going to go to the questions. We're going to answer the questions about the first passage, and then we'll answer the questions about the second passage, and then we will answer all of the questions. I kind of did it wrong. I was supposed to just read the first passage, answer the questions, read the second passage, answer, and then answer the questions about both. So I kind of jumped ahead a little bit, but that's okay. I think we're going to survive it. Okay, number 1. Why does the author write The Gift of the Trojan Horse? So what was it? It was informational. It was about the Trojan horse. It was history. All right, to show the characteristics of the Greek gods. Did it even do that? Did it show any characteristics of Greek gods? To describe the actions of the Greek people, maybe. To explain the reasons for the Trojan War. Did we get any reasons for the Trojan War? Or to teach a lesson that people can be tricked by appearances. So this is going to be the whole story, and you need to decide the answer on that. Whole story. Okay, number 2. Which sentence from the gift of the Trojan horse provides an example of figurative language? Attack they would. It struck the side of the horse. They smelled victory. Meanwhile, the people of Troy were suspicious. So which one is something that's a little more flowery and not just a statement? Okay. Number 3. In the myth, why do the Greeks select a wooden horse as a weapon? Okay. So that's that first passage again. Why did they select a horse? Ares always uses horses to defeat his enemies, if that was in there. Okay. The Greeks are skilled at building wooden structures. The horse is a sacred symbol to the Trojans, or the Greek army uses horses to celebrate victories. So you're going to have to go look for that. Let's see if we can find it. Let's see. All right, so it's going to be in paragraph 3. So this is question 3. So it's going to be in paragraph 3, and it's up to you to find the answer. I'm going to read through here. Oh, I already did that. Okay. Okay, number 4. Which word from the gift of the Trojan horse has the same meaning as ploy in paragraph 4? Same meaning as ploy. So we're going to find paragraph 4. Find the meaning. Right here, the Greeks continued their ploy by sailing to a nearby island. This is question 4. And then I'm just going to do the ... The Greeks continued their blank by sailing. Alright, so the Greeks continued their gift by sailing. The Greeks continued their symbol by sailing. The Greeks continued their surrender by sailing. Or the Greeks continued their trick by sailing. Now, of course, it's in paragraph 4. We've already notated it in our story. Which sentence provides evidence that the gift of the Trojan horse is a myth? Okay, so we have to remember what a myth is. It's like a story. It tells a lesson. It might have some truth in it, some history, that kind of thing. Odysseus was the leader of the Greek army. He asked Ares, the Greek god of war, to reveal a plan. As a test, the high priest hurled a spear toward the wooden structure. Because the people of Troy thought of horses as sacred, Odysseus planned to offer them a mighty wooden horse as a gift. Okay, so myths are going to be like stories, right? Okay, number 6. Now we're moving into the little blog. Okay, I'm just going to move it over this far, and then I'll move it. What is the meaning of the word legitimate as used in paragraph 2 in Mr. G's class blog? So we're going to go to the Mr. G's class blog. We're going to find paragraph 2 right here. And this is question number 1. Eric was confident the email was legitimate. Eric was confident the email was blank. ... Alright. So Eric was confident the email was real. Eric was confident the email was legal. Eric was confident the email was acceptable. Or Eric was confident the email was free. What is the best answer there? Number 7. Read this sentence from paragraph 3. So we already know where it is. And they give it to us so we don't have to even look back in the story. The mouse pointer danced around the screen like a magic jumping bean. Of course, that's figurative language, right? Because it can't literally jump around and dance. In this sentence, appeals to the reader's sense of. So, what do you do when you read this? What are you seeing it? You hearing it? You feeling it? Or are you smelling it? You got smell, taste, touch, or sight. The mouse pointer danced around the screen like a magic jumping bean. I think that one's pretty easy. Okay, number 8. In Mr. G's class blog, why does Eric believe the email contains accurate information? He has made purchases from Game and Jam. He trusts the source of the email. His brother forwards the email. His computer is protected by software. Let's go back and see if we can find it. Okay. Let's see. Okay, that's also in paragraph 2, so that's question number 8. Question 8. It's in paragraph 2. Okay. Number 9. Which sentence from Mr. G's class blog does the author use to foreshadow the problem? Remember, we even talked about that as we were reading it, the foreshadowing, that it was foreshadowing what was going to happen. Although his parents had warned him about opening strange email attachments, Eric clicked on it anyway. Now this is where Eric's troubles began. Besides, he was excited about spending every cent of the $100 on himself. The message informed Eric that he had been chosen as the lucky winner of a $100 gift card. So these are kind of throughout the story. You have to choose which one's the best. Okay, number 10. Why does Mr. G share Eric's story on the blog? Why do you think he would share that? Like, you know, he made a mistake. He found out what would happen, and, you know, does he want to teach students a lesson? To provide Eric's brother the opportunity to share his computer knowledge? To prevent Eric from repeating his mistake? Or to make others aware of the importance of being cautious when using the computer? So this is at the whole story. What theme is expressed in the myth? Okay, so that goes back to story number 1. Story 1. And the blog. And the blog. So they have a theme. Look before you leap. Nothing in life is free. Things are not always as they appear. Do not count your chickens before they are hatched. Alright, so this one I definitely want to compare. I want to see if it matches. We'll do a couple of these, or we'll do one of these so you can see, because all of the rest of the questions are going to be like that, where we have to compare stories. So I'm going to put on the first one, it's going to be the Trojan horse, and then it's going to be the Mr. G's blog. I'll put blog, B for blog. Alright, so look before you leap, definitely the Trojan horse, right? And the blog. Nothing in life is free, that was the blog. It was actually both of them. Things are not always as they appear to be. That was both of them as well. Don't count your chickens before they're hatched. That was the blog more than the other. So, the theme is basically all of it. Which one is the best? Okay? Which one is the best? And it's going to be this one here. Let's see. But on the rest of the questions, you're going to do the same kind of format. How is the computer virus in the blog similar to the Trojan horse in the myth? So we're going to do that here. Well, okay. If they match for both, then you put a check mark. Okay, so in the Trojan horse, are their sources are trusted by the main characters? Did the Greeks and the city of Troy, did they trust each other? And then did Eric trust the website? Put a check mark. Okay, in the Trojan horse, they're both presented as gifts from friends. Okay, was it a gift from a friend? Was this a gift from a friend in the blog? Okay, their contents are used to bring about destruction. Was that true in the Trojan horse? What was inside can cause destruction? And was that true in the blog? What was inside that email caused destruction? They are both symbols of winners. That's true, definitely in the Trojan horse. The horse is a symbol. What about in the blog? All right, we're going to do the same thing here. Anytime you're doing a paired passage, this is what you should be doing. You need to compare and contrast both of them. How do the points of view differ in the gift of the Trojan horse and in Mr. G's class blog? All right, so here you got to just basically are true or false on this one. The gift of the Trojan horse is written in third person limited, while Mr. G's class blog is written in third person omniscient. So you have to go back and you have to see if that's true. Okay. This is in third person because there's they. Let's see. There. So that is third person. What about here? Me. So are they both third person? I don't know. You tell me. Alright, the gift of the Trojan horse is written in third person. Okay, so we already know that's true. Third person is true. Mr. G's is written in third person, limited. We decided that wasn't true. The gift of the Trojan horse is written in first person. That's not true. And Mr. G's class blog is written in third person. The gift of the Trojan horse is written in third person, objective, while Mr. G's class blog is written in third person, omniscient. So you have to decide which one worked. And we have 2 more questions. Yay! And then we're done with this activity. Again, Trojan horse and the blog. Okay, Eric can best be compared to which character in the gift of the Trojan horse? So this one actually, I guess, you know, I have to look and see. In Odysseus, we're going to put Eric here for all of them. Eric, 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 and Eric. So Eric he trusted the site. He didn't think anybody was going to hurt him. So who in the Trojan horse is the same way? You need to look for that. Number 15, read the sentence from the gift of the Trojan horse. Since nothing happened, the people were convinced it was safe to accept the gift. Which sentence from Mr. G's class blog expresses a similar idea? So we don't have to do the Trojan horse on all of them. We just have to compare and make it the same thing. Nothing happened, convinced it was safe. Eric was confident the email was legitimate since it come from a well-known store. Okay, convinced it was safe. That does that part. Convinced part. That's good. Now, this is where Eric's troubles began. That's not right. As soon as he opened the email attachment, Eric realized there was a problem with his computer. Does that say nothing happened and it was safe? He finally understood why it was so important to be careful when opening email attachments. Does that tell me nothing happened and it was safe? Okay. All right, so that concludes lesson 1 for this week.